we are off. Buenos tardes, Semetics. 4 dragon avatars. Yeah, lots of dragons. Okay, so Tiger's going to go first. We have blizzards on. We have stable portals on. No fog. Pretty sure it's automated expert bots. Obviously auto placement. I'm going through all the other settings in my head since I hadn't really gotten a chance to look at them. But I suspect that all those other things are accurate. Sweet noob corner. Okay, so Tiger appears to be angling for the West Africa bonus. And when we get into turn 2, I'll put the bonus screen up and we'll go through each of those. So been a crazy and wild tournament, I'm sure. Over the course of this week, there's going to be this round and 3 other rounds in which the quarterfinalists are going to be battling for a spot in the semifinal round, where just 12 of them will make it there. So I believe the advancement is still based off of points, but I could be wrong about that. In any case, we do see Cecil Dogan take a bonus. He's able to get the turn 1 South Africa bonus. And because of that Congo blizzard, and the South Africa blizzard, he's going to be able to guard that on just a couple points. Looks like he's going to leave Jax behind him for now. Jax probably would not be interested in breaking because I would imagine that Jax also has an interest in staying back there, at least semi-protected in that pocket. Anyway, Grimshanky's up. He's in the 3rd seat. So we have Tiger in the 1st, Cecil in the 2nd, and Grim in the 3rd. Grim has spent about half his clock in draft now thinking about what he wants to do. Grim is a good player, but every now and then he loses track of the clock. But that does not appear to be the case this turn. He is going to be getting his card over in Greece. Of course, every now and then I lose track of the clock. So, and he looks like he's leaving, moving his stack away from Ivor's 7 stack, down right next to Madagascar. All right, and in the 4th seat we have General Rivers, and as Semetics pointed out, we do have 4 dragon avatars today: Cecil, Grim, Rivers, and Jax, all on the dragon. Are these stable portals? Yes, they sure are. Yeah, so turn 1 when all the portals are live, that's how you know they're stable. If they were unstable, on turn 1 they would all be red. So yeah, we for sure have stable portals. Just call you Sam. My name sounds longer. Okay. I'll call you Sam. Sam, samey. So no obvious bonus lined up for Rivers here, and the same is true of Grim, by the way. Neither of them have bonuses as obvious as Tiger or Cecil to just go and claim. So we'll see what they might be able to work out here. Rivers, speaking of using a lot of clock and draft, but Rivers goes ahead and moves into the portal left open by Grim. Gets his card there. Jax might be able to go for the big bonus in the middle of the board, but he's going to start slow, take it easy. I believe that bonus is like a +6. It could be as large as 8. We'll look at the bonuses here in a moment. Makes 2 hits, loses 2 on that second hit though. Is trying to stake a claim to that. We'll see if Grim decides to move out next turn. And then last but not least, we have Iversama. Nowhere for Rivers 3 to go. Rivers 3 is looking at a Blizzard or Ivers 7. So Ivor is gonna have to hit it if he wants that bonus besides Cecil. And he is gonna have to split. Interesting. Leaving 5 there, presumably so he can fortify back to his starting position. I don't think he's just going to leave 5 troops stranded in Madagascar, or locked in Madagascar. But Tiger reminds him, hey, can you let me have my bonus over here so I don't have to hit your 3? And then Rivers crying as he is one of the have-nots of this game. So we have 3 halves and potentially a 4th if Jax is able to secure the middle bonus. And 2 have-nots and potentially a 3rd if Jax is not able to secure the middle bonus. So speaking of bonuses, let's take a look at the bonuses on Africa Advanced. So we don't see any +2s. We see 5 +3s if my count is right. We have East Africa, which is the bonus that Ivor just took. Southern Africa, which is the bonus Cecil took and is currently putting his bonus troops on for now. West Africa, which is the bonus that Tiger took. +3 in Europe, which is unlikely to be taken this game. +3 in Asia Minor, also unlikely to be taken this game. Those are, my personal opinion, Europe should be worth like 4 or 5. Asia Minor, maybe 4. But I don't make the rules. I don't make the maps. So those are both +3s. Then Horn of Africa is your one and only +4 on this map. And then you have 3 +6s. You got the North Africa +6, the Sahara +6, and then the Central Africa +6, which Jax is attempting to claim. All right, so bringing it back over to the game here. We see that Cecil put a little bit of troops on his guard portal there for his bonus, and got his card elsewhere. Looks like there's some card trading going on in the Horn. And we see the fist bump come out from Jax. Grim does decide to remove his troops from Central. So Jax will be getting a turn 2 Central Africa. We'll see if he's able to hold that. Is only going to have to guard it on 3 points thanks to the Congo Blizzard. Makes that +6 a lot more viable this game. Rivers is trying to line something up in Asia Minor. Is signaling for Ivor to move on his turn. Jax, no surprise here, goes ahead and claims his, or takes his claimed +6. We'll see if that's enough to hold. And if the board agrees to let Jax hold that, Jax in a solid position if he's able to hold that with everyone else on a +3 and him on a bonus twice that. So Ivor does indeed move out for Rivers. So if Rivers is able to secure Asia Minor, that will leave Grimshanky as the have-not this game. So Tiger gets to collect on his +3 that he grabbed last turn. So thoughts so far, folks, on how this game is shaking out. And to remind everybody, this is a 70% game. We do have Blizzards on. So Blizzard 70% on Africa Advanced. These players are going for 33 territories. That's how many they need to win, which is all but 17 of the 50 territories which remain after you put 3 or 4 Blizzards on this map. So all but 17 territories is what's required to win game 1 here. I don't know if I should be saying game. I believe this is a 3-game round. I could be completely off base about that. But That's what happens. Last minute casting switch out. I didn't get a chance to look at all that stuff, so maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. Okay, Dedestro, yeah, 3-game series. Thank you, sir. Um, my my apologies for that. Cecil appears to be is Cecil trying to line up the horn? So Grim is trying to insist on the Horn of Africa bonus, and I certainly don't blame him. Um, he is gonna need something if the rest of the board is taking bonuses. Looks like he's letting Cecil's 8 out next turn, but this is a very slow take of a +4. Meanwhile, Jax is about to collect for his +6. So this could put Grim in a bad place, but a late bonus is better than no bonus. Okay, we see Rivers with the Asia Minor take. He is now off the have not list. We'll see if he stays off. So yeah, I suspect that none of the players really have too much interest in breaking each other.
Hey,
Of course,
I'm busy
I say
for
that
the
and
next
I could be
4
risking
hours.
I say that and I could be risking whatchamacallit, um jinxing somebody. And watching somebody get broken anyway. But it's not going to be Jax to break Cecil. I don't expect we see Jax ever stab Cecil in the back. That's a very good way to get himself removed from back there. Um, Ivor gets his +3. Ivor doesn't have anything in Europe. Curious about how much he cares about that, though. Doesn't really seem to have a way to get up to Europe. So now that the now that the bonuses are more or less solidified or grabbed here, the next thing to look at is positions and who might be angling or positioning for who, right? So Tiger, his natural prey, right? Your the natural target that you have is the person that goes directly after you in the turn order. Um, though, I mean, really, you can go for just about anyone after you if the position is right and the troops are right. Um, so Tiger isn't isn't in the best position to go after Cecil. Cecil also moving to Spain to create a position over there. Maybe he'll hang out in Morocco. The other thing to notice is that the Italy Blizzard makes France a pocket territory. So France as a pocket territory means that a substantial enough force on Spain would be effectively a kill guard on Tiger over in France. By the way, second game is New Zealand and Australia Advanced Fix 70. Third game is Asia 1800s Prague World Dom. Okay, thank you. Yeah, normally there's like a settings link in the Discord, um, in the group thingamabob thingamajig in the lobby, the Discord lobby. I can't talk today. I didn't see it. Anyway, I appreciate you keeping me straight, Dedestro. That's the main reason the hosts are here. Not to keep the players in order, but to keep the caster informed. So yeah, we do see Grim take the Horn of Africa +4 after Cecil moved out of it. So now every player has a bonus, though Rivers and Grim are looking a smidge fishy just because of how long it took them to get their bonuses. And then Jax in a solid position here as he's about to go on to his third turn with a +6 bonus. So so far we haven't gotten into the first round of trades yet, um, But just curious on your guys' thoughts. Whose positions do you like? Who do you think has the best shot to win? Right now, if I had to put my money anywhere, it would probably be on Jax. If things continue the way they're going, I would say Jax is favored. But I also don't see Jax getting broken anytime soon. He's not really leaving anything to trust, right? He's guarding with troops, so breaking Jax probably needs to happen. But whoever does it, um, it's going to be an expensive break by whoever um, does it, unless Ivor does it. Ivor's the only no Ivor or Jax stabbing in the or sorry, excuse me. Um, my brain switched Jax to Cecil for a second. Um, yeah, so we could see Cecil hit the 5, but I don't suspect that he'll do that. Um, we could see Tiger maybe. Yeah, I just don't see Jax getting broken anytime soon on this board. All right, now players are moving into the 5th round here. Everyone's grabbing their last card before we get into the first round of trades. So Ivor is really only in 3 positions. He's got his bonus, and then he's got a 9 stack in Sahara and a 6 over in Egypt. Jax is kind of in 4 positions, maybe 3. I suppose Grim's 7 is enough of a divide between Jax's 5 and 7 over in the northeast corner of the board. And actually, my mistake. Jax is in 4 or 5 positions because the split bonus of Central um, it just makes Jax that much more difficult to eliminate. Rivers has Asia Minor, and then a 6 in the middle of the board, and a couple other stacks, all in the Sahara bonus. And then Grim is in 3 positions, but kind of 2 because his portal, the portal that's in his bonus, connects directly to the portal that his 10 stack currently resides on. So if I'm Grim, maybe I want to move that 10 stack north and let somebody else sit on that portal. I don't know. Maybe not. Since Grim is in the 3rd seat, maybe he wants to keep his kill lines and kill options open. Cecil has his South Africa bonus. I think Cecil is arguably the most spread out because he's got a couple Europe positions. He's got that Morocco position. And then he's got that territory directly south of Egypt. And then Tiger is only in West Africa, France, and then that 7 stack in Northern Africa. Tiger would be in a better spot if somebody decides to take the kill guard position in Spain, which Cecil just moved out of it, so I'm not sure that. So far, no one's really willing to take it. And then the other thing about Ivor's position is it looks like Ivor's the only one who doesn't have immediate portal access, right? Ivor's best portal is the one in Grim's territory, taking the 8 north, breaking Grim in the process. But that's his best portal access. He doesn't have immediate access to it, but he's got access enough to where he could use it if he wanted it. All right, so we see the first trade come out from Tiger, putting down 4 troops. We didn't see any card skipping or any other type of card play or shenanigans going on here. So the first round of trains are going to play out as normal, as expected. So Cecil is going to turn in his 6. So yeah, Tigers I think would have a hard time taking out Cecil. So next would be looking at Cecil going after Grim. If the troops are there, Cecil has good lines on Grim once he gets a big enough set. Grim setting in for 8. Grim's lines on Rivers are not too bad. The Portal 10 can go down to the 9. Grim's 9 can split around Ivor's 10 and get both of those 4s. and then the 12 was connected into the Asia Minor territory. So Grimm's lines on rivers are not too bad. And then looking at rivers going after jacks, that might be the hardest line, is against jacks, because you kind of have to go through either Cecil's 12 portal stack or Ivor's 8 uh, stack after you get down to the portal there. And then you have to also get jacks in Europe as well as Morocco, and then that 6 that he has wedged in between a 10 and a 15. So jacks is going to be I think jacks might be might be harder to kill than Cecil. Um, anyway, so we are watching from Jack's POV. He's gonna turn in the horsey trade. Gets a +2. Rivers, by the way, turned in the 10. Jax here is trading in a 12 +2, which like the guy who's been holding a +6 since turn 3, needs any more troops. But all of those troops do indeed add up, which is why Jax is on 70, and all of his opponents are on 50 or less. Ivor might be the only one to kind of catch up to Jax a little bit, since Ivor's about to turn in the biggest trade of the first round of sets. So Jax has a 15 pointed in Tiger's direction, and then a light 8 is that 8 stack is his weakest guard point now. Has a big 15 stack right behind Cecil. Ivor sets in for 15, puts him on 60 troops. No set on 3 for Jax, but I don't think he needs it. So now we're back to Tiger. So oftentimes you'll see eliminations and bounties start being taken during the second round of trades, which can happen when people are on 4. So normally during the first round of trades, everyone waits till 5 before they set in. On the second round of trades, sometimes you'll see people wait till 5. Other times people will wait till 4, right? And obviously, as always, the calculus there is, can I go to 5 cards and not die and risk that, risk holding onto my cards for a bigger set and more troops? Or should I just trade and put the troops that I have in my hand on the board right now, as well as making me less attractive of a bounty choice for another player to take? Because that's the other thing. Even the attempt of a bounty will likely eventually get you killed before you get the opportunity for another turn. Because even if that player who attempts it doesn't get you, the next one or the one after likely will. Not sure why Jax is 15 down there. I would have thought he would only want enough to take the 3 free territories if he goes for the 70. Yeah, I kind of figure that maybe, because normally with 6-player 70 games, Dedestro, normally at least what we kind of see is at least one bounty gets taken before somebody goes for the run. So maybe Jax might be trying to line somebody up. But yeah, to your point, if he's just gonna go for the 70 and not a bounty, yeah, he would only need maybe like 6 troops down there instead of 15. I don't know. Maybe he's worried that he's getting so far ahead that Cecil might try something, or that Ivor might come through Cecil to try something. Not sure. All right, so Rivers consolidated. Rivers had 2 kind of guard stacks over in his bounty, or over in his bonus territory. Now he's consolidated those into a 15. Grim has a mini 5 stack kind of wedged into to a corner there. If anyone tries to go for him, they'll have to make sure that they have enough to roll that 5 at the end. And Ivor is guarding on 218. So Tiger is going to set in for the 20 set. Tiger does not plan to wait on going to 5 cards. Tiger's going to set right now. And also, sometimes the reason people don't set on 4 is simply because they don't have the trade. So So normally you have a set on 4, but you don't always. So so that's the other possibility. So Tiger appears to be manualing Grimm's 12 down. I'm curious as to what the thought process is behind that. I can't imagine Grimm is too happy about it. Perhaps he's making. Looks like he's going to attempt the Grimm kill, and he does actually have it. That manualing the 7v12 there made the 18v12 a 100% roll, and that was all the daylight Tiger needed to finish the Grimshanky kill. So, GG's to Grimshanky, and congrats to Tiger taking the first bounty in this game. That puts Tiger on 3 points and earns him the 25 trade. Also, important to note that Tiger's on 32% of the map right now. If he's able to get that number to 70%, he wins. So here, he's either going to run, attempt another kill, or end his turn. And he's chosen to end his turn with the points there. So Cecil, probably not complaining too much about that, since it does make his trade bigger by 5 troops. He's turning in the 30 set here. Does Cecil have the Rivers bounty? I don't think the Jacks or the Ivor bounties are as much on the table as the Cecil bounty as the Rivers bounty currently is. Excuse me. So he is going to have to hit some 5s of Tigers in order to get to those last remaining River 5s. If he wants the Rivers bounty, though. So it's possible. He starts by slamming the 12 stack into Rivers territory there. Is left with a 7v5 roll, wins it. That should be enough for Cecil to bag the Rivers bounty here. So he did split there. I think that territory does connect to one of the other ones, but yeah, no reason taking the risk if you're not sure. GG's to General Rivers, and congrats to Cecil taking the second bounty this game. Also earns himself the 35 trade. Puts him on 83 troops. He did hit a little bit of Tiger, so maybe he goes for the Tiger kill here, because Tiger is now on 50 troops. This appears to be a run attempt. He's on 52% of the board, 56, 60. He's very close. He needs to watch the clock, though. 69 just needs one more. I don't see it. I don't see where his last territory is. Rolls a 10v. I'm actually not sure exactly what the numbers there were. But rolls that last one in frustration. This board's wide open. The troop lead now gets to go and have a run at it. He's so Jack's traded in for the 40 trade, puts him just shy of 120. That should be enough to take the win here. The question is, does he also clean up Ivor in the process? It looks like he is going for the Ivor Sama kill just to pad his points out. And might finish the Tiger kill in the process. Looks like he's going for Tiger first, which could cost him the Ivor kill. 9v5, 97. It does not cost him the Ivor kill. Jack's on track to win this game with 2 bounties. So Tiger appears to only have 6 troops left. Yeah, indeed, he only has 6 troops left. And Jax still has 50. Jax is on 54% of the board. So I think the next thing we'll see Jax do is finish Tiger off. GG's to Ivor Sama. GG's to Tiger. And congrats to Jax for taking the next 2 bounties of this game, and likely the last 2 bounties of this. No, not likely. Certainly the last 2 bounties of this this game, as well as the W in Game 1 of this quarterfinal Group 1 series. 69%, and he sends out the GGs. And that is all she wrote, folks. GGs and well played to all the players. Congrats to Jax Wild for taking the Game 1 W. So that puts Jax on 21 points. for getting the win and 2 bounties. Tiger got a bounty. Cecil got a bounty, puts them both on 3. Grim Shaky, Ivor Sama, and General Rivers are awarded the consolation donut for game 1 here. But there are still 2 more games, so they all have an opportunity to score and get on the board here in these next 2 games. And all these players are excellent. They must be in order to get this far in a tournament. So they all are plenty capable of getting on the board here. So getting the next game set up, game 2 is a New Zealand and Australia advanced fixed 70 game. Cecil had a kill on Ivor that was better than running the 70, I think. Yeah, I suppose you're talking about after he, because Cecil, it seemed like Cecil was between running the 70 and going and trying to chain Tiger after he killed Rivers. Yeah, not sure. All right, so we have Jax on white, Ivor on black, Tiger on pink, Rivers on blue, and Cecil navigating his way back to orange. Just Grim is left. So yeah, we do have automated bots here. I'm pretty sure that we're still going to have blizzards. I could be wrong about that, but there we go. Actually, since there is downtime, I can pull up the full settings list and just use that. Here we go. So New Zealand and Australia advanced, 70% domination game. Blizzards and fog are both off. The portals are going to be stable. Auto placement, fixed cards, expert automated bots, 90-second turn timer. Alliances will be on because this is fixed. And balanced blitz dice, of course, as always. Okay, apparently Grimm's Steam is having an update. So he's delayed by a couple minutes. Oh, Dedestro says Blizzard should be off this game. Yeah, no fog, no blizzards. I'm reading. I opened up the match host tab, Dedestro, so I could read all the settings off of there. So I wasn't reading it off the screen share. I'm not sure what it says on the screen share. They're probably off because Jax is normally pretty good at making sure all the settings are right, but I don't know. We could ask him to double check it while we're waiting on Grim. You responded to you saying that they're probably on. Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. The host fulfilling the primary duties of keeping the caster straight. All right. And we have Grim Shanky in the game. And we have everyone everyone that we need to get game 2 rolling. I believe Jack's the creator of lobbies. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, for sure. Trust Jax more than me to have the lobby settings of a tournament right. Alrighty. So game 2 is away. New Zealand and Australia advanced, fixed 70. So this should be interesting. We'll see how the players wheel and deal in negotiating with each other. That is typically how a fixed game resolves. Everyone looks at their spawns, goes for the bonuses that they think are the most viable for them. And then from there, you kind of look at the board, see who's the weakest link, and see if you can rally people to agree with you that someone other than you is the weakest link and should get eliminated first. And then you attempt to progress the game from there until someone can make a run. So Rivers is in the first seat, has a better spawn than he had last game, is immediately able to claim a bonus, but is not able to take it just yet. Jax is in the second seat. It looks like he could go for the bonus up at the top middle-ish area there. Puts a couple troops in it. Looks like he's thinking about exactly what he wants to do. Looks like he would rather have the bottom bonus. Appears to be asking Ivor to move his 4. Ivor's giving him the thumbs down. And then Jax slams a 2 into Ivor's 3 as a gesture of goodwill. And yeah, Jax would much rather have the that South Central Australia bonus than that Mid Central one. Tiger's in the third seat. We'll see if Tiger does decide to move his stack out. Adds a troop to it, so seems as though he will be moving that stack out so that Jax can take. And grabs a little 2 territory bonus up on the northern central tip of the Australian continent. Ivor is in the fourth seat. He also has an easy take on a 2 territory bonus and is positioning himself to take that central mid bonus. That 4 doesn't quite connect into it, so he's going to roll a 3v1, gets perfect dice, and rolls a 4v1. So Ivor gets 2 +2s on his turn 1. Solid turn for Ivor. Grimshanky's in the 5th seat. Not too clear what bonus he is going to go for. It looks like he's angling for New Zealand, or the southern island of New Zealand. He has a lot of material in the bonus that's between Ivor's 2 bonuses, but the problem is there's a blue 3 in there that he's not exactly prepped to go in for. And Grim rolls the 3v1 for the take of that southern New Zealand island there. And once we see everyone's first turns, we'll go over the bonuses. Last but not least, we have Cecil. Cecil Dogan, the Dogan Master. Looks like he's got that East Coast territory there for himself that he could get. Rolls out his 2 for Jax. Grabs that bonus. And moves, and then decides to occupy one of the stable portals and stays there. All right, so Rivers is likely going to finish the bonus that he started on his turn 1. Oh, he's also positioning himself to take the northern island of New Zealand. Okay, so let's take a peek at the bonuses on the New Zealand and Australia advanced map. So we have 3+2s. You have, or sorry, 4+2s. You have Kimberley. You have Arnheim, Land, and Groot Landit. I'm gonna butcher all these names. Which Tiger occupies. Then you have Central Australia and Far North Queensland, which Ivor occupies both of those. Then you have a few +3s. You got Top End and Tiwi Islands, which Rivers occupies. You got Gulf and North Queensland, which Grim might make a run at that. We'll see. Then you have Western NSW, which is an unclaimed +3. Then you have 4+4s. You got Eastern NSW, which Cecil currently occupies. You got Victoria and Tasmania, which I believe Tiger might be angling for. Then you have the South Island +4 and the North Island +4. So Grim occupies the South Island, and Rivers is angling for the North Island. Then you have the South Australia +5, which Jax was able to take, and the South Queensland +5, which is unclaimed. And then last but not least, you have Greater Western Australia, which is your one and only +6 on this map. NSW stands for New South Wales, by the way. Thank you to Destro. I'm glad you told me because I did not know that. But it was probably pretty obvious that I didn't know that. Anyway, so yeah, Tiger did indeed get the Tasmania bonus. I just read them all, and I can't even remember all of them. And yeah, Jack's got the Southern Australia bonus. Grim is gonna angle for the Gulf and North Queensland bonus, which I only remembered because Jax was flashing the bonus for us there, or the bonus screen for us. Very nice of him to be able to read my mind like that. So I think he's sending a fairly decent signal to Cecil that, hey, I'd like you to move your 3. We'll see if Cecil decides to do that. Cecil's going to go for the last +2 that has yet to be taken. Has to roll 2 2s. Does move his stack out of the way for Grim. Gonna roll that first 2 of Jacks. Or no, he's just signaling. Just sending a few signals out. Decides not to roll out his 3 for Rivers. I think that might have been a signal to Rivers, hey, my only way out is to get to the portal that your 3 is blocking my way toward. So we'll see what Rivers decides to do. So Rivers can either let Cecil's 3 out, or he can just slam Cecil's 3 if he wants North Island right away. So the cost-benefit analysis of a decision like that matters a smidge more in fixed when goodwill with the fellow players might go a longer way than 4 troops a turn sooner. So yeah, Rivers does indeed decide to just knock Jax's 1s out of there and get out of the way for Cecil to leave on his next turn. So game 1 kind of resolved itself partly because Jax took the biggest bonus fairly early and no one ever broke him. Jax, once again, is on the biggest bonus that any of the players currently occupy. So we'll see if we have a repeat performance of the last game. He is in the second seat, though seat position does not matter nearly as much in a fixed game as it does in Prague. It could be argued that seat position almost doesn't matter at all in fixed. but I think it does matter a little bit. Um, it particularly in 70%, but only in terms of uh, am I going before or after the first person who's going to attempt the run? Yeah, it matters depending on the situation. Yeah. But for Prague, it pretty much always matters, and the only time the situation changes is if there's card skipping or something. Or that's pretty much no. There's probably other situations where it changes, but generally speaking, like you understand or the players understand the normal set order and card progression based off of turn order. So both Jackson Tiger punch out their 2s for Cecil. Tiger. Oh, I was looking. I was like, wait, no, Tiger does indeed have a second bonus. So Ivor might make a play for that. Yeah, he is going for it. What was that bonus called again? Western North. Sorry, Western New uh, South Wales. Is that what you said? Yeah, Western New South Wales, and that is a +3. So Ivor is on +7 now. All those little bonuses add up. No set on 3 for Jacks. Grim is going to go ahead and finish his second bonus. That was the Gulf and North Queensland +3 bonus. So now Grim is also on +7. So with players taking second bonuses, Jax's potential lead is dwindling here. So Cecil is currently on a +3, and he's about to take a +2. First things first, though, he's prioritizing moving out of Rivers' second bonus. So now Cecil is on. Oh, excuse me. Cecil's first bonus is a +4, so now Cecil's on +6, and with this, so Rivers sets in with a 10 trade on 3. Some solid luck there. That's the other thing with fixed. If you have the good set, the money set, right? The one of each for 10 troops, there's normally not really a reason to hold on to it. May as well have those troops on the board as opposed to in your hand. So Rivers grabs his second bonus. That puts him on +7. And now Jax, seeing the way the wind is blowing, and no available +2s to put him on a matching +7. So he may just have to make do with the +5 that he has. Holding on to it if you aren't in danger is good because you can counter opponents' attacks on you. Okay. Yeah, it could be good in that situation. A potential counterpoint to that. Yeah, I could see it as personal preference. Yeah, my counter to that and why my personal preference leans the other way is because if I have more troops on the board, I feel like that is more of a preventative measure than I feel like that's a preventative measure as opposed to a reactive measure. There won't be bounties in this game. You're right that there's not going to be bounties in this game, but Dedestro was talking about countering opponent attacks, which assumes that whoever attacks you left you alive, right? Anyway, so yeah, we see some card trading happening in the normal card trading bonuses. There are only 2 bonuses not claimed on this board, so these players have done a fairly decent job balancing this board out. The player collecting the least amount of troops per turn now is Jax, who only has 1 bonus worth +5. Everyone else is on 6 or 7. Actually, I think, yeah, Tiger's on 6. Yep. And yeah, and we can see it in terms of troop count as well. Jax is on 28. Cecil's only on 29 for now just because he hasn't gone this round in the turn order. Yeah, and now his turn boosts him up to 38. So Jax looking in rough shape. To progress the game, we might see players bully Jax a little bit, but Jax has a big 16 stack um, who he would likely use on whoever hits him first. So now what we're going to see is players taking cards over the next few turns and angling for positions such that they can eventually make a run. So Jax, not feeling exactly comfortable, decides to trade in his horsey trade for 6. Is requesting that Tiger move his 4 out of the way. Now has a monster 30 stack. Monster for, compared to all the other stacks on the board. The second biggest stack on the board is Tiger's 11. Tiger also sets in. So yeah, this is the part of the game, folks, the calm before the storm. So settle in. I suspect it'll be a couple turns before we see anyone attempt the run. Speaking of which, blizzards are off, and this is a 70% game. So for this map, New Zealand and Australia advanced, you need 51 territories. That's all but 21 of the 72 territories on this map. So 51 here is the GG goal. So Ivor goes to 5 cards. Grib sets in for 10. Thinking about what he wants to do with it. So right now, every player, when it's not their turn, they're counting. So for Jax's case, right, we see Jax on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 territories. And we just saw that what's needed to win is 51. So Jax is counting out the 41 remaining territories that he would require to win. And it looks like Jax's plan is to run it in a single line off his 30 stack. But obviously, 30 troops cannot take 40 territories. Even with perfect dice, it's just not possible. So it'll be another few turns before we see an attempt from Jax. Now another player may attempt it. So Tiger, Grim, Rivers, all these players are looking at kind of a split run if and when they attempt it. Cecil, same for him as well. Speaking of which, Cecil trades in. I believe that was a 10 set that he turned in. So the only player that did not trade that go round was Ivor, but Ivor is on 50 troops. So, and likely just did not have a 10 trade, so decided to try his luck with the 5th and final card draw there. And on 50 troops, where everyone else has set in and only only 2 players have more than Ivor. We do see Jax make a couple of hits. It looks like Jax might be trying to hold 12 territories and maybe get his +6 that way. So we see a heart go out from Tiger. Jax responds in kind. I don't imagine that Jax will be able to hold 12 territories, but maybe he's slowly working his way up to it by making double hits. No set on 3 for Jax. He drew the cannon he needed, but all of his horses have left the stable. Ivor drew what he needed, apparently, sets in for 10. Gives him a troop lead over Grim, who Grim is currently in second. But Grim has yet to go this cycle. So we should see Grim pass up Ivor on his turn. Just by a few troops. So normally you expect whoever is troop lead to make the first run attempt. But that doesn't always happen, right? Because it's not just troops, right? It's position. It's do I have a line? Do I have a line for the run at the 70%? So if you're Grim, your count is he's got the 5 territories over in the South Island, 6, 7 now, and then his other bonus there, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13, 14 for the 2 remaining territories. So Grim's run. Oh geez, it's been a long day. What's 51 minus 14? That's how many territories Grim needs. I'm too tired to do math. I'm an engineer. I was doing math all day, and I'll do more math tomorrow. Anyway, 51 minus 14 is too hard for me. No, I can do it in my head. Hang on. 4, 11, 11 minus 7, 3, 37. There we go. Yeah, Dedestro's got me with the 37. So yeah, and so that's the calculus that everyone's doing. And the way I just did a simple subtraction problem there, I certainly made it look like calculus. Tiger sets on 3 for 10. So that's the other thing that could upset the status quo of the troop leads, right? It's early sets like this. So normally what you try to do is if you have an early set like that, and you think you're ready, right? You setting a little bit early means that there's the ratio to your troops to everyone else's troops on the board is a little bit more in your favor. Oh wow, Jax is looking at 2 dudes and 2 cannons. Doesn't even have a bad trade on 4. Simply has no trade at all. But yeah, setting on 3 with a 10 trade is a good way to catch people off guard and go for the run. And Grim, I think, probably has the best lines on a run. So if you notice, Grim's 9 in the South Island is positioned to take 4 territories from Rivers at least, if he ever goes for the run. Whereas Rivers' 8 is only positioned to respond to a counterattack by Grim, right? That 8 of Rivers is not positioned to make a run at Grim's 2 territories over in the South Island. But yeah, Grim still has plenty more. I mean, there's so many different. You need. I mean, 50 territories is still a tall order. So, Grim has the 4 over in the North Island. He's got a few in the card trading area there, and then the rest he would have to continue breaking folks in order to get. The 8 is actually open to the 2. Oh, it is. Oh, my mistake. For some reason, I thought the dotted line connected to the bottom 1 territory. Yeah, you're right, Dedestra. Yeah, it does point to the 8. My mistake. Okay. So yeah. So I think Grim still works out a little bit better in that trade though, because Grim is looking at 4 territories where Rivers is only looking at 2. But yeah, you're right. You're right. That 8 is not locked. All right, Cecil also set in on 3. Rivers setting in on 4 for 10. So it seems as though everyone's getting the cards that they need and or want, except for Jax. Jax may have used all his good luck on the previous game. Jax has to go to 5 cards. Draws his missing horsey, though. I'm sure he's happy about that. Bradman, thank you for the follow. Bradman0201. So Tiger has slowly built up a 30 stack over on that west portal. Does Ivor sit down on 4? He does. Gets a 10 trade. Puts him on 99 troops. So I suspect we'll begin to see run attempts once the players' troop count are north of 100. Does Grim have a trade? Nope. Grim is going to go to 5. But Grim is plenty safe. He's on 95 troops even without that trade. So everyone seems to have developed their own little trading pockets as we're in this lull, peaceful phase here. I mean, troops are still dying, but it's relatively peaceful. Only the expendable troops required to collect cards are dying, which nobody cares about them. Jax trades in his 10 set. Draws another horse. So Jax has a set on 3, a 10 set on 3. So a couple turns ago, he was looking at no set on 4. And now he's about to do back-to-back sets on 10. Very nice for Jax. Should help him get caught up a little bit here. So Tiger's tank is in the way. Can't see exactly how many troops he has in Tasmania, but it's 20 now. It's 20 something now. Yeah, 20 exactly. Okay. Ivor's on 108. Yeah, the other thing is you normally don't see a run on a turn where someone's not trading in. In games like this, normally you see a set in and then a run attempt. So Grim is trading in a 10 trade. Says attack my territory if you need. Oh, says I'm sorry, I need to attack your territory. What does it looks like Jax wants the 3 or 4 position. The 3 stack that is now a 4 stack because Grim just added to it. Maybe Jax wants to get in there. Oh no, Jax is saying move your 16 out of the way maybe so that I have a better chance at a run. Asking for a card. Okay. That makes more sense. Thanks to Destro. Cecil and Rivers are continuing their card trading in their little pocket there. $15 stack from Grim is too passive for strongest pair that is looking for a run. Yeah, that 15 is kind of an like if you're Cecil, that 30 is like, okay, so I see 3 territories to my east, right? At least 3. 69 stack for Jax, and we see the dabs come out. Jax, not wanting to mess with the 69 stack, starts stacking in another position. Excellent strategic move. Never ruin your 69 stacks by adding more troops to them. So I think if Grim has a set on 3, it's possible that we see a run from him soon. If I'm Grim, I would I think I see a world where you could attempt the run with a set on 3 if you're Grim. Maybe. It would be very close. It would, I don't know, maybe not. It's tough to say, but I think it's very hard to say, but I think if not Grim, then maybe Ivor. I like where Ivor's 45 stack is. I like the 37 on the portal there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who has the best lines right now for a run attempt at the 70? Cecil setting in on 3 for 10. So even with the back-to-back trades from Jax and Cecil here, um, there's still 10 troops behind Grim at least. And in Jax's case, Jax has not crossed the 100 troop line yet. The being on only +5 is catching up to Jax. Hovering over the 69 stack, threatening to ruin it. Not sure what he wants to do with the last 5 troops he's got. Puts him in front of Grim. Repositions his 16 stack. Looks like he's trying to open up another path to potentially travel down for a potential future run. Tiger decides to give Jax a card. It is possible, though, that Jax is blocking up Grim's potential run, because Grim had a nice little path there with his 10 to get the card trade territory troops, as well as the territories that Iversom is not guarding in his bonus. Putting a 21 stack there greatly slows Grim down, slows him down by a lot. Grim sets in on 4 cards with a 4 trade. Very strange. He's not in danger of dying. Why not wait for the 5th card? Very curious here. Unless he was looking at a hand of 4 dudes. Yeah, probably had 4 dudes, yeah. That's a bummer. 4 dudes is at least 1 dude too many. Cecil's got a nice 40 stack over in the East Portal. And then continuing his relatively peaceful card trading with Rivers. Rivers, Tiger, and Ivor all on 5 cards. Rivers looking at least 3 horses in his hand, turns in the 6th trade. And Rivers has been slowly working up a 58 stack on his North Island, New Zealand portal. Jax adds to his choke point. Tiger sets in for 10. Very tricky board here. We see Tiger breaking neighbors. This appears to be a run attempt. So remember, you need 50 troops, or 50 territories, 51 to be exact. Tiger's going for it. Does he have it? He certainly seems to think so. He's a good enough player to where he very well may be right. Wins the 5v3. That could be the extra territory that he needed. Goes into Ivor's bonus for a territory. Is going to need to smash that 9 to get behind Cecil. On 56%. Has a 20 stack. Cannot get past Grimm's 26. Portal's over with it. That should be enough. Cleans up some of the territories back behind River's bonus, but leaves one of Grimm's territories on the table, which appears to have been fatal there. Ends his turn on 69 on 69%. Just one more hit. Rolling that 3v1 probably would have won it. Lost to the clock there. That was a very good run attempt from Tiger. Just about won the game here. Ivor has the benefit of turn order, being able to go right after the player who opened up the board. Will he be able to capitalize on this? I think if you're Grimshanky, you're a little bummed right now because you were probably looking at a run attempt on the next turn. But I suppose it depends on how much Jax's 28 was stalling you. So we have Ivor approaching the 50% mark. He's at 50. Still has time on the clock. Still has a 47 on a portal waiting in the wings. He should have it here. 62%. Just a couple more open, fairly easy territories for him to grab. 68, 9, and 70. GG's to Ivor-sama taking the W in game 2. And that was a very good run attempt from Tiger. He just about had it. Just about had it with another split second or half second there to roll that last 3v1. All right, so Ivor, one of the players who had yet to score, now jumps up to 15 points. So after the first 2 games, Jax Wild is on 21 points with a win and 2 bounties in game 1. Ivor-sama's on 15 points with the win in game 2. Tiger's on 3 points with a bounty in game 1. Cecil Dogan's on 3 points with a bounty in game 1. And Grimshanky, General Rivers are still enjoying their consolation donuts. And now we move on to game 3, which is a Asia 1800s map world domination game, so no longer 70%. I think we had a player in one of the previous rounds confuse game 3 with a 70% game when it was actually a world dom game. No fog, no blizzards, no portals, auto placement, progressive cards, automated expert AIs, 90-second turn timer, no alliances, and we do have balance splits dice. And these players are not messing around, hopping straight into it. Asia 1800s is the map. Jax says that he has a game in about 40 minutes. So I think that is probably why he was so quick to get this one set up and fired. And it does look like all the players have readied up. Grimshanky is in the first seat, which I'm sure is not what he wanted to see. Being on 0 points coming into game 3 here. Is this the map with the China wall? No, yeah. I'm trying to. What is that map called? I don't remember its name off the top of my head. I feel like that map is called like China something. I don't know. Actually, no, it's not. Is it like Great Wall or Mongolia or something like that? I don't know. I'm looking for it in the list here. Not paying attention because yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll get back. King Dynasty. Yeah, that's the name of the map. Thank you, Dedestro. Yeah. Again, Dedestro keeping me straight. Tiger in the second seat. Takes his turn while I was distracted. And Rivers is up, going third. So third, fourth seat is normally where you want to be at a prog game. If you see early trades, maybe you want to be in the second seat. If you see some later trades, maybe you want to be in the fifth. But positioning and lining up a player can still bag you a bounty even if you're in the first seat, which we saw that from Tiger in game 1. Took the first bounty of the game from the first seat with the 20 trade. Loses a troop on that card take. Does a quick fortify over in the Indonesian islands. Well, I think that's Southeast. I think that bonus is called Southeast Asia on this map. Ivor saw him in the fifth seat. Grim is great lines on Tiger, but very difficult from first position to kill on second set of trades. Yes. 100% true. Difficult, but possible. And I think it was not too long ago where I saw Grim make a bounty on from the first position. So not only is it possible, but Grim is a player who is capable of it. So we'll see if the conditions align here to where he's able to repeat that. And last but not least, we did have Cecil go in the sixth and final seat. So we are on the second round of trades. We don't see anyone going for bonuses, but we're going to take a peek at them anyway. Or the second round of turns. Sorry, not trades. Yeah, we're going to take a peek at the bonuses anyway. We have 3+2s. You have Afghanistan all the way off on the west side of the board. Then you have the Korean Peninsula and Japan over on the east, northeast corner there. Then you have a couple +3s, Mongolia and Tibet over in the northern, western side of the board. Then you have Indochina right smack dab middle of the board, +4. Then you have India, +5. India on the southwest corner of the board, I suppose. Southeast Asia in the southeast corner of the board. And then last but not least, you got the big +7, China, uh, right, also in the middle of the board, but not quite as middle, if that's even a thing, as Indochina. So Tiger has most of the territories in the Tibet bonus, but we'll see if Cecil wants to give him that. So this map is normally not a bonus map, for the simple fact that, and we just went through the bonuses, for the simple fact that the bonuses don't stack up evenly, no matter how you split them between 6 players. So maybe sometimes you'll see 1 or 2 players try to go for a +2, maybe a +3. Um, just to get some type of advantage, but because there's 3 +2s and 2 +3s, that does leave somebody as the odd man out, to either not have a bonus or to go for the +4 Indochina bonus, right? Um, where Indochina is just the take is normally difficult, and it's too hard. It can be too hard to guard, even if you're guarding, um, even if you're even if you're guarding by the revenge guard or the retribution guard, whatever you call it. The counterattack threat, the threat guard. There we go. I got there eventually. Yeah, so it doesn't appear as though anyone's going for bonuses. We see all the usual +2s that get taken. Each one of the territories in those normal +2s, Afghanistan, Japan, and North Korea, all have 3 or more troops in them. So very unlikely. So far it seems unlikely that they'll be taken. Um, the only bonus that appears as though it might be claimed could be Tibet. We'll see if Tiger presses the issue here. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like he's trying to. So it does appear the players have agreed to a non-bonus game. No one's really attempting to go for any bonuses, which I think is perfectly reasonable for this map. I think there was one tournament game that I did a cast for where somebody had a very good spawn for the Southeast Asia bonus. I think it was a 5-player game, so it did end up being a bonus game. But the player who was permitted to hold the +6, it was like he took it like turn 1 or 2. I can't remember who it was. It's probably turn 2, but it might have been turn 1. I don't know. That player, of course, ended up winning. You normally see it from players who aren't as good or in games with Blizzards. Right. Yeah, Blizzards on this map make bonuses a lot easier to take. So as far as position is concerned, Grim seems fairly spread out, but he doesn't have anything in the Southeast Asia bonus. Tiger, I can say the same thing about him, fairly spread out, nothing in Southeast Asia. General Rivers, also decently spread out, doesn't have anything in India, and a little, and then might be a little bit overrepresented in the middle of the board. Like if you look right in the middle of the board and then look up and down, you see a lot of blue, right? And then to the left you see the 5, and to the right you see the 4. But there's a lot of blue in the middle of the board if you're talking, left to right middle as opposed to top to bottom middle. And then Jax is reasonably spread out, and does have a Southeast Asia position. Ivor doesn't have anything in the northeast corner of the board. The closest thing he has is that 5, which that 5 isn't badly positioned. It's behind the fives of two other players, which makes him a smidge safer. And then lastly, we have Cecil, whose westmost territory is that one in India. And then if he doesn't beef up his two in China, that position could get removed just from people taking cards. But has the North Japan kill guard spot, where Tiger's 4 is blocking anyone else from getting to Cecil's 3 there. Yeah, no one has a spawn to force. I'm assuming to force them, you mean force bonuses. So yeah, I agree. I don't expect this to be a bonus game. So yeah, I don't think anyone has bad positions. I suppose the next thing to kind of look at would be lines. So Jax appears to be migrating his China stack to the west. So I think somebody mentioned that Grim has good lines on Tiger. Yeah, he certainly does. Grim has excellent lines on Tiger, provided he gets the troops he needs when he needs them. Tiger lines on Rivers are not so good. Rivers has a position in Southeast Asia, and Tiger does not. And then in Korea, Tiger's got to hit Cecil's 3 to get to it. All right, so yeah, Tiger does not have the best lines on Rivers. So looking at Rivers going after Jax, yeah. So if Rivers were to reposition his 5, actually he doesn't really need to because he's open. So yeah, if Rivers ever gets the troops, his lines on Jax aren't too terrible. Though it's possible that some of the ones that are separating the blue territories from the white ones could get filled in the meantime, but we'll see. Jax, his natural prey would be Ivor Sama. And those lines don't look too bad, minus that 5 I mentioned earlier of Ivors in Mongolia. Jax has position on Ivor everywhere else, or has lines on Ivor everywhere else, other than that 5 stack of Mongolia. He would have to hit Grim or Rivers' 5 to get through it. And then Ivor lines on the Grim talk makes me flinch every time you say it. Oh man, we got Grim bot. Well, yeah, it's not my fault. I mean, I guess I could call him Shanky instead of Grim. I don't know. I'm just used to calling him Grim. Yeah, and then Ivor's lines on Cecil. Ivor doesn't have a good way to get to Philippines, or a good way to get to South Korea or northern Japan. Yeah, Ivor does not have the best lines on Cecil. JK, yeah. And then the last thing, so Cecil's natural prey would be Grim missing a set, or really anyone who misses a set. But we'll just for completion's sake, we'll look at Cecil lines on Grim. Grim is looking at a 4 trade plus 2. Or sorry, Jax is looking at a trade plus 2. But Grim will be getting the 4 set. Not sure if he has a plus 2. While he's doing that, so Cecil lines on Grim. They're not too bad, aside from that Indochina 4 of Grimm's. How does, I suppose Cecil would just go up and then back down to get there. If, yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds of different line combinations you can check out on games like this. I tend to do the easy 5 or 6 there, just because those are the most natural or expected ones. So Tiger going to set in for 6 here. Spreading the love all over the board. Seems like all of his positions got at least one reinforcement. And lines up just a smidge closer against Rivers there. Rivers sets in for 8. So first round of trades and the turn right after the first round of trades are the calm just before the storm. So interesting. Jax did switch out for his +2, but traded one of each as opposed to 3 cannons. It's kind of a super minor thing, but normally when you have the option to do one of each or 3 cannons or 3 of the same, normally you pick 3 of the same just to increase your odds of drawing one of the ones you got back. But it's not a huge thing, and he did actually draw a cannon there, so he does have a set on 3 with 3 cannons. And that was the 10 trade for Jax. Ivor turning in the 12 set. Which leaves Cecil with the 15. Yeah, we didn't see any card skipping or anything like that, so the normal progressive, progression occurred with the turn order there. All right, so after all that, Cecil's on 50, and with no bonuses, everyone preceding Cecil has just the right amount of troop delta or troop differential that you'd expect. How's it going, Chris and Chips? Yes, this is indeed game 3. And we're just about to get into, this is the last round before we get into the second round of trades. So Grim and Tiger are a smidge fishy just because they're under 40 troops. But who sets in when and who has the best lines on who is likely what'll determine the outcome. The Grim lines on Tiger are still not bad. I think if you're Grim, yeah, if you're Grim, you don't want to see your 8 get closed off to Tiger's 7 there. Oh, did I speak too soon? Does Rivers fortify back or does he stay there? He does fortify back. Okay. So Jax can decide to take the 20 trade early here, but I think if you're in the 4th seat in this position, I think you hold your set and take a card. It does depend on if Jax feels safe from Rivers killing him, though. It does appear, and it looks like he does feel safe. So Jax goes to 4 cards. Ivor Sama just shy of 50. The 5th seat is a little bit trickier to play. You didn't get the biggest first round trade bonus. But if you live while everyone else is getting kills, then you'll have a very good sized trade in the second round. Decides to not take a card. So either he's very concerned about immediately dying and doesn't have a trade, or he's moderately concerned about dying and has a trade and simply decided not to take a 4th card. Gonna play for the no one's gonna kill me on 3, and maybe I can clean up a failed kill if someone fails a kill. Cecil though goes to 4. Grim does not set on 4. Grim goes to 5 cards. That could be a dangerous sign for Grim there. Does Tiger decide to take the 20 trade again? Tiger was in the first seat in the first game, took the 20 trade on 4 cards. Second seat this game, Grim doesn't set in. Is that because Grim feels safe, or is that because Grim missed his set? Tiger apparently also feels safe, also going to 5. So if you're Ivor Sama, this is not what you want to see, right? This makes it to where maybe maybe Ivor should have taken a card last turn. Unless Ivor's able to just set in on 3 and knock out one of these players on 5. So yeah, never mind, my mistake. That is an option for Ivor now. Maybe this is something he wants to see. Come on, Grim, do it for us, Grim. The Grim Twinsy, the Grimbot Twinsy in here. I should just call you Bot, and then I should call him Shanky, and then no one will be confused. Rivers goes to 5. Grim is happy about this. With every player that does not take a trade, it becomes more and more likely that Grim will survive on 5. Because if you're Ivor, yeah, a set on 3 or taking a bounty on someone on 5 when you're only on 3 will set you in. But is it even worth it if it's the 20 trade and then the follow-up trade is the 25, right? Jax goes to 5 cards. So does Ivor continue to skip, or does he set here? Ivor sets, takes the 20 set. Could Cecil kill Tiger here? Maybe. Yeah. Actually, how does Tiger, or no, wait. Could Cecil kill Tiger? Yeah. I think the answer is yes. I think potentially he could. Ivor had no choice but to set, yeah. Ivor sets because going to 4 when everyone else is on 5 definitely means he dies. Does Cecil take the 25 here? Cecil says no, I'm going to go to 5 cards. Or he simply did not have a set on 4. Okay, so Grim survives to 5 and gets a 25, puts him on 69 troops. Ivor's gamble didn't work out, yeah. We see the dab come out from Grim, or from Shanky. Shanky very much for the dab, Grim. You see Ivor with the dab. Rivers just sticking his tongue out, which may or may not have anything to do with the 69 joke. Giggity. So is Grim lining up a potential Tiger kill here? Tiger is the weakest on troops, just by a few. Yeah, very risky, but it's possible. It's there. He's going for it. Gets good dice on the 7. 16v12 has enough there to clean it up. 10v6 gets very good dice there. 11v6 gets decent dice there, and a 12v7 gets exactly what he needs. GG's to Tiger there. And congrats to Grimshanky, taking the first bounty of Game 3. Sets in for 30 off of Tiger's cards there. Can Grim chain the rest of the board on 80 troops and 4 cards? If he ends his turn, he'll end his turn on 5 cards. Can he chain anyone else? It looks like the answer is no, and he's just going to grab a kill guard on Cecil in northern Japan. And sets himself up for another kill. Potentially next turn, we'll see. Tiger sets in for 35. Or sorry, Rivers sets in for 35, excuse me. Can Rivers get the Jax kill here? Cecil's going to be harder to kill because Grim is kill guarding him, and Ivor's kill is simply not on the table because Ivor's only on 1 card. So that really only leaves Jax as a viable option for Rivers to even consider going for. Does not appear as though he's positioning the or drafting or placing his troops. Geez, I can't talk sometimes. Does not appear as though Rivers is placing his troops in such a way to go for the Jax kill, and he's already used half his clock. Still in draft. Yeah, decides not to go for the Jax kill. Makes a big 34 stack over in Southeast Asia. Jax takes the 40 trade. Does Jax decide to slam through Grim's 13 stack and take the Cecil kill anyway? It looks like the answer to that question is going to be no. Let me get caught up in chat here. Risky, not a great gamble if your line's on everyone are as bad as that, though. You skip with the set to kill a guy with 5 cards, but no more killable, and all went to 5. No idea how Tiger felt. I assume he didn't have a set on 4. Nice kill, Grim. Grim just needed 1 trade from someone, needed that extra 5. Yeah, that's true. Would have been riskier turn before, but the extra 5 always helped. Still possible, though. He's in a great position unless Cecil can kill. Yeah, but if you stacked with him, then yeah. Ivor's up. Ivor's in a tricky spot here, right? Set early, set out of turn order, which made sure that he didn't get last. But how does he turn that into a win from here? Going to be very interesting to see if Ivor can somehow pull this one out. At this stage, Ivor, I would not say is favored. Cecil Dogan sets in for 45. If he somehow manages to kill Grim, who has the least amount of troops with the most amount of cards, that would set him in. If he somehow manages to kill Grim, that would put him on the board. Or add to his board total, excuse me. Does not appear as though he has the Grim kill, though. Is he lining up someone else? It looks like he's just putting putting his troops on the board. Doesn't look like he's really lining anyone up. The 15 and 17 beside each other like that is interesting. Yeah, just takes a card. Yeah, and does decide to combine those stacks. So Grimshanky, does he continue his rampage? Gets 50 troops. The only player that he could kill that does not set him in turn is Iversama. Everyone else would set him in turn. Is he able to continue bounty collection? Or actually bounty hunting? Can he grab the Rivers kill here? Puts 35 troops over in South India. Grimshanky's about to Grimdingle, yeah. Actually, the pun's right there, right? He's about to Grim Reap. Did a lot of sowing last turn. We'll see if he can reap this turn. Decides that he doesn't have anyone, which is very interesting. Yeah, he doesn't really have a. No, he could have maybe tried for rivers or jacks there. Decided not to. Goes to 3 cards. So we'll see if rivers, jacks, or Cecil have a set on 3. I suspect if you have a set on 3 here, you use it just to make sure that you're not the next to die to Grim. How's it going, Tiger? I didn't feel safe, but if I trade in there, then I have no chance of winning. Yeah, which I think is the position that Ivor's in, Tiger. Can't win when you're dead though. Yeah, it's tough either way for sure. Rivers sets on 3. I believe that was the 55 trade that Rivers just took. That does ensure that Rivers is not the next person to die, assuming there's another kill made in the next few turns. Assuming there's another kill made, yeah, the next turn or two. Is Jax deciding on... No, Jax does not have a set on 3. He's actually the only player that I can see. Yeah, Jax doesn't have a set on 3, unfortunately for him. Goes to 4 cards. Makes him the juiciest target for Grim to go after next. Ivor is going to go to 3 cards. Jax has a set on 4. Cecil sets in on 3 for 60. So luck of the draw says that Jax is Grim's most likely next bounty. Unless Grim is able to get the Ivor Sama kill without a trade. But Grim would have to punch through a Cecil 14 to get to Ivor's 10 in Southeast Asia. Appears to have Ivor everywhere else. Make that a Cecil 24. So I think the play if you're Grim here is you wait and hope Jax missed his set so you can kill Jax on 5 when you set in, or you go for the Ivor kill right now. And I think it's probably not a bad idea for Grim to attempt the Ivor kill now, though he only has 3 troops to work with in putting troops on the board, and he's not exactly well positioned to go after that 9. Never mind. Grim has a set on 3, sets for 65. Can Grim line somebody up with that? Because if Ivor missed a set on 3, Grim could line up the Ivor kill this turn and take it next turn. Doesn't have to rush it. Chris says blue kills Jax. Yeah. 17 comes down from Korea, gets the 11. 62 goes east, and then the rest goes west. 46 on the 24. The 10 can clean up some singles. Yeah. Yeah, the Jax kill is on the table for Rivers here. Grim didn't pair for any of the kills. IDKY. Yeah. You can double tap the 40 if needed. Yeah. Yeah, Jax kill's certainly on the table. But now that Rivers has used half his turn in draft, I'm not sure he goes for it. You look at position, look pretty comfortable. I think maybe. Yeah. Yeah, looks like Rivers is not going to attempt the Jack's kill. Jax survives the set. Sets in for 70, puts him on 169. Meanwhile, Shanky is on 196. And we see the dabs come out from that. Personally taking 80% kill to be in this position is green. Yeah. So I think if you're Grim Shanky at this point, if Ivor got his set on 3, Grim may have lost his win opportunity, or just prolonged this game if it is still his win. But if Ivor doesn't have a set on 3, it should still be Grim's game to win, to take here. It should not be all that difficult for Grim to make the Ivor kill, particularly if Ivor does not have a set on 3. So if you're Jax here, what you're thinking about doing is stopping Grim from taking the Ivor kill. But how do you do that if you're Jax? Cecil should have lined up black better when he traded. Yeah. Right. Yeah, Cecil has... It's going to be tricky for Cecil to get over to Afghanistan. But it's a moot point anyway. Ivor Sama does have that set on 3. Sets in with 75 troops. It looks like we'll be going into yet another round of trades here, folks. And I think we saw a few missed opportunities. Yeah, this could stalemate now. Yeah, and I think we saw a few missed opportunities from more than one player here. You guys have been pointing out in the chat there. Grim threw away his advantage. Yeah, Grim certainly had the advantage. Might have had a kill or two either last turn or the turn before. But yeah, decent shot. A non-zero chance that this game stalemates now. But Grim does still have the upper hand by about 30 troops. The problem now, though, is now that everyone's on 150 or more, are the bounties all that worth it when the next trade is worth 80? So Shanky, I'm sure, is bummed right now that that Ivor's kill's no longer on the table. He is still kill guarding Cecil, though. Rivers moves his 64 stack to the Philippines. Jax or Ivor should still think about kills. They already have points and could just top it off with a few bounties. Right, right, because Jax is on 21 points and Ivor's on 15, maybe they're not... You're right. Those two are the most likely players that don't necessarily have to play for a win here. They're likely into the semis already. I don't know what the full standing or scores are. Actually, let me turn those on so people can see them. Should show up on the bottom bar here in a moment. Oh, those are just the scores from this round. And so far, this is the only group to play. Jax combined stacks up for a big 77 stack over in India. Big fan of Jax and Ivor this game. Yeah. Are you talking about how they've played this game so far, Tiger, or how or are you saying that they're best positioned to win? I still think Grim is favored. Oh, you need them to win. Gotcha, because of points, right? Understood. Yeah, I still think Grim is favored, but if we keep seeing sets on three like we've been seeing, because that last round, the only player that did set on three was Cecil, but he was sufficiently large enough to weather it. They can get 1 million now, right? Grim on 12 territories doesn't matter too much, but an extra troop is always nice. Rivers sets on three for 80. So there I go again, me and my big mouth jinxing the game. And Jax is looking at a set on three. Holy smokes. So we have at least 2 more sets on three coming this round. We did see the dab for Rivers' 69 stacks. See another dab. Jax gonna set on three and take the 85. Everyone's laughing, chuckling about all the setting that's going on. Meanwhile, the reason why this game fired so fast after game 2 was because Jack said that he's got another game to go to in a minute. So we might see some interesting play from Jax here, unless he's told that other group or that other lobby that he'll be a few minutes late as this game wraps. Jax is in your FFA group, yeah. It depends on how on how hard line of a stop that you guys have. Oh, you guys agree to start in a half hour. Okay, never mind then. uh, my fantasies of some truly wild play from Jax, um, due to time constraints will apparently not be happening. Still preparing for Ivor kill round 2. Yeah. Yep. And he's got it well lined up. Um, so yeah, Ivor's out of this game as soon as he misses a set on 3. Um, so yeah, Grim is favored to. I still think Grim is favored a smidge. Um, but I think Ivor's fate is sealed as soon as he misses a trade. And then Cecil goes to 90 troop or gets a set on 3 for 90. Holy smokes! Everyone is getting sets on 3 this game, folks. Somehow they've all channeled their inner Arco to harness the power of the set on 3. Does Grim have one? Maybe if you're Grim, you set on 3 here. As you slowly watch your lead dwindle away. Goes to 4. He's going to combine his 30 stacks, maybe? Nope. Repositioning his 30. Jax has been so lucky this game that he was looking at his hand to see if he had a set on 1. Okay. And my earlier prediction has now been falsified by Rivers, as we do see the first bonus of this game taken. Rivers is on the Tibet +3 and correctly fortifies only 1 troop to his 68 stack, making it a 69 stack. Cecil now has even better lines. Yeah. Oh, we see Jax hitting some Grim here, going for the Grim kill, rolls a 2v1 successfully. Does he's got a split here, and then he still has 50 troops down in Southeast Asia. So out of nowhere, so again, I'm getting another prediction wrong. I thought for sure that Ivor would be the next out, but no, it appears to be Grim. Grim was favored to win until he missed his win opportunity, and unfortunately that cost him this game and landed him in 5th position. GG's to Grimshanky, and well played to Jax Wild, not only taking the next bounty but also ending the stalemate. Did not expect this. Should be studied how he lost this. Yeah. So Jax is now on 160, even with the trade-in. Joins Ivor in the fish barrel. But I'm sure he's not complaining about adding to his lead this round. Adds another 3 points to his score total. Puts him on 24 points for this quarterfinal round. I don't think anyone... Actually, the only player that could pass Jax in terms of points for this round would be Ivor. Any of the other players would need a few troops. Would need like 2 or 3, but would need to sweep the remaining players. And Ivor does not miss his second set on 3. Gets the 100 trade. And yeah, Jax is looking at a wild card on 3. And Tiger has another set on 3. Yeah, I bet you do, Tiger. With everyone getting sets on 3 this game. Holy smokes. So that catches Ivor-sama up to Cecil, both on one card, both on exactly 262 troops. But Cecil does still have card advantage on Ivor because Ivor did card skip that one turn earlier. Seems like ages ago. And Ivor has 369 stacks in all his various positions around the board. To be honest, I did have a set on 3, but then I was silly. So now it's looking as though Jax could be the next out. That is what it would look like if he wasn't about to set on 3 right now. Has to get his chuckle out first for another set on 3. 105 troops added to Jax's total there, puts him on 268. So now Rivers is the fish, being on 3 cards, not having used his set on 3 that he undoubtedly has. And it is hard to say who is favored to win this game now, as the board appears to have stabilized. I think whoever wins this game might be whoever takes out Rivers, but the kills are definitely more expensive than the sets. The next set is 110, and the weakest player is on over double that, right, in terms of troops. Can Rivers kill Jax? No. No, he can't. You probably chatted that before Jax set in on 3. Jax decides to 0 card. I think it was possible. I don't think it was good enough. Yeah. All right. Ivor goes to 2. But we're not going to see any more excitement until General Rivers' turn, when he turns in his 3 trade. The Destro Risk called it, wants you to play. Oh no, Destro, are you missing a game? Because arguably this round should have ended a few minutes ago, but it is still going. We're seeing some very solid play from all these players, um, and some not too shabby card luck, also serving to doing its. The card luck is certainly doing its part to prolong this game. Rivers does not have a set on 3, goes to 4 cards. He hasn't seen the number 4 on his card counter in about a half hour, I think. Jax decides to take a card, makes a big 130 stack. If Rivers somehow misses a set on 4, can Jax capitalize on that? The game I'm in that was meant to start 8 minutes ago. I think we were waiting till after this finishes. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely shaping up to be a wild game. A smidge stalemate at this stage. But it's certainly anyone's game. So Rivers does not miss his set on 4, is not taken out, sets in for 110. Can Rivers kill anyone? So the only person that Rivers could kill and set in turn would be Cecil. Does it make sense for him to go for the Cecil bounty? Decides to take a second bonus. So Rivers is on +5, and no one seems particularly interested in breaking him. Jax is on 6 a turn, so Jax is on +3 just with territories. Iversama gets another set on 3, goes to 115. This man does not miss. This man is not missing sets on 3. On 385 troops, when just a short while ago I was saying that he was likely the next person out. That is no longer the case. Some higher force wants Ivor to win this, yeah. Cecil misses his set on 4. Cecil Dogan going to 5 cards here. Problem is Rivers needs the win, so he couldn't just kill Cecil there. It would make him too weak. Right, yeah. So, can anyone kill Cecil, though? Cecil going to 5 might be worth it if you can bag it. Rivers is not interested. And Jax, I don't think, has the troops. Do we see the Cecil kill from Iversama? Iversama is the troop lead. Does Ivor have lines on Cecil? Are all 4 of us in here waiting for this to end? This game somehow stalemates. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I can be the entertainment as you guys wait for the or it's really more the players that you guys are watching than me casting, but I'm glad you guys have something to watch while you guys are waiting. Only Ivor because of that 8 in Japan. Right. Yeah. Um yeah, oh wow. We see a stack slam from Jax. Is Jax feeding Cecil? Jax appears to be feeding Cecil a little bit to Ivor. Ivor certainly has the Cecil kill now. Yeah, if he wants it. Yeah, so with a smidge of help from Jax, it looks like Ivor is going to take the Cecil kill here. Goes for it, loses 54 on that 70, 26 on the 40, getting some solid dice here. 30 on, I don't remember how many troops were there. uh, rolls the Mongolia stack. Now it's just the 8 in northern Japan that he's got to make a little trip over to. Path is wide open. GG's to Cecil Dogan. The board said, hey, we got to progress the game. Sorry, Cecil. GG's, and well played to Iversama taking that bounty, as well as the 120 trade. Iversama takes the third bounty of game 3. Action, praise the Lord, yeah. Amen, brother. And yeah, that with the dice that Ivor got, that was not too expensive of a kill. Puts him on 346 troops. And he's going to end his turn on 4 cards. Can't really chain anyone else. So not what Rivers wanted to see there. If you're Rivers now, after seeing the teamwork between Jax and Iversama, Rivers sets in on 3. Yet another set on 3 this game. Like, this game needed another one. Sets in for 125 troops. Yeah, you cannot go no set on 4 when everyone's getting sets on 3. Honestly, that was Cecil Dogan's biggest strategic mistake. People forget that all the time. Everyone knows that you die if you miss the set on 4. Why do people keep doing it? Obviously not enough practice, right? So Rivers is on 492 troops. Neither Jax nor Ivor would set him in turn. You feed black here if you're blue. He's thinking about it, maybe. Rivers is the only player who has not yet gotten on the scoreboard. Looks like he does hit black a little bit here. We see the GGs come out from Ivor. Rivers needs the win, so I don't mind if you can actually get the win. Jax would lose if he takes the black kill, right? So yeah, Rivers try to encourage Jax to help him out now with a bounty. Jax does not have a set on 3. Thank you for the 100 bits, Andre Hedges. Much love to you too. Feeding black's the right move. Gotta be the right amount of feed. Did not feed enough. Looks about right. Okay. Well, it's up to Jax. Does Jax think it was fed enough? Jax seems to think no. Iversama. Did Iversama miss his set on 4? Actually, I think this is the first time all game, aside from the first round of trades, Ivor does not set on 4. Holy smokes. He killed Cecil and got his no set on 4 curse. Decides to slam Jax. Might actually have the Jax kill here. Jax not too happy about this decision. Looks like Ivor's going to try to add a few points to his final tally and give Rivers the win here. Feeds the win and takes another bounty. That puts Iversama on 21 points. And he sets in here. But is going to end on 5 cards and on half the troops compared to the last remaining opponent. And both of Rivers' 100-plus stacks are plenty open. But it looks like Ivor is going to play his heart out. Does not he's attacking in such a way that it appears as though he's not conceding. But Rivers should have the win here. Rivers can kill both of them now. No card. It was already Rivers' game, so correct play from black. Yeah. All right. Rivers moves and flows like a river with the speed here. Plenty of time, plenty of speed to mop up this board. Going all around Asia and ending in Tibet. GG's to Iversama, and well played to General Rivers, going from 0 to hero in Game 3, taking 1 bounty and the W in Game 3, which I think puts him on 18 points, if I'm not mistaken.